Hello everybody and welcome back. I hope that everyone is staying safe and sound in this pandemic and that everyone is ready to study today. So today we're going to be doing adjectives. Okay, and I'm going to explain in detail about different types of adjectives. But first, if you like what you see, click that give me a big thumbs up. Click that bell notification. And please subscribe. Okay, the more subscribers I have, the more people that can view these lessons. Okay, so let's get into it. We're doing adjectives. So adjectives are words that describe nouns or pronouns. Okay, so an adjective describes something. So there are different types of adjectives. What kind? So for example, the small kitten climbed a tall tree. So small kitten and tall tree. Beautiful white clouds blew across the sky. So beautiful and white. Which one? This soccer ball is mine. Or I ate 2 of those cookies. Okay. How many? Some birds migrate south in the winter, or the 2 buildings have many windows. Now, generally, when it comes to adjectives, we have an order. So, numbers always go first. Then comes size, and then color. So, for example, 2 big brown bears. Okay. Now you could say 2 big brown ugly bears. So you can add another adjective. Okay. But there's an order. You don't say big 2. No. Number always comes first. Okay. Then color, then size, excuse me, and then color. That's always that way. So that's a certain order that they have to be in. Now, generally, we can use up to 4 adjectives. We don't use more than 4. As a basic rule in English, American English that is, we can use more than 1 adjective, usually about 4. Same thing with nouns and verbs. The maximum generally is 4. You can use 4 at a time. We don't use more than 4. Okay, so like I said, number, size, and color. Then if you want to add something else, you can put that after those 3. Like I said, 2 big, brown, ugly bears. I'm not saying the bears are ugly, it's just a sentence. Okay, now, we generally use adjectives, when we're trying to compare things. So this is just, I'm just showing you here about the adjectives. Now we're going to go into about how we generally use adjectives. Okay. So here, let me make it bigger. Okay. Hopefully everyone can see that. Make it a little bigger. Okay, that should be good. Okay, so adjectives make comparison. Now, stay tuned for the end of the lesson because I'm going to give you a tip about adjectives that many people don't know. Okay, so use ER to compare 2 people, places, or things. So Tony is a faster runner than Jamal. Or this is the sharper of the 2 pencils. Okay. Who is shorter, Terry or Michael? So we're comparing 2 things. Okay. Now, use EST to compare more than 2 things. So 3 or more. So he is the fastest runner in school. Or of the girls, she has the longest hair. Or that was the greatest story I've ever heard. Okay, so we're going to be doing some practice, but before we do practice, you have to understand that for some adjectives, we add ER to compare things. For some adjectives, we add more. So if a word is small, like big becomes bigger, we add ER. However, if a word is big, like beautiful, we don't say beautiful love, we use more. Now, you cannot use both. So you cannot say more bigger. No, you cannot use double comparatives. You cannot. Okay, that's not allowed. Okay, same thing with EST. You know, you cannot say with superlative, which is 3, we either use most for bigger words or EST for smaller words, like biggest. Okay, or most beautiful. Now, we cannot say most beautifulest or most biggest. We cannot. We cannot use double comparatives or superlatives. Okay, I want to let you know that. Okay, so with that, we're going to do a little practice. Okay, so let me just scroll down a bit. Okay, so she is blank than Marcia. So she and Marcia, there's 2. So we know that it's comparative. Okay, now the word is strong. Strong is a one-syllable word, therefore we use ER. So she is stronger than Marcia. Okay. Second one, who is the blank person in your class? So we know that we don't see 2 people mentioned there, so we know that it's superlative, so that there's at least 3 or more. So smart, which is one syllable, would be smartest. Mr. Gonzalez is the blank person in our town. Okay, so a town we know is more than 2 people. So old becomes oldest. Okay, next. I worked blank today than yesterday. So you're comparing today and yesterday, so that's 2. So hard is a one-syllable word, so it would be harder. Okay. My jacket is blank than my sweater. So you're comparing the jacket and the sweater. So warm, which is one syllable, becomes warmer. Ms. Davis is the blank person I know. Now, unless you only know 2 people, which is, I don't think anyone only knows 2 people unless they're a hermit, you know more than 2 people, which means it's at least 3. So kind would be kindest. Okay, now, before we go into the bottom, I'm going to give you a little tip. Okay, so suppose you don't know which one to use. Here's a clue. Notice that when we're using ER, number 1, we have stronger than. Harder today than, for number 4. My jacket is warmer than. Okay, notice you had than, T-H-A-N. Now, most of the time we'll use then. Okay? When we state this is bigger than or something like that. Most of the time. Not always, but most of the time. However, if you want to know if we're using superlative, 3 or more, you have to look in front of the adjective. So notice, who is the smartest person? Miss Gonzalez is the oldest person. Or Ms. Davis is the kindest person. Always, when we use superlative, which is 3 or more, we always use the. Always, 100% of the time. As far as than is concerned, when we're talking about comparatives, it's more than 75% of the time, you know, of the two people, he is stronger. See, we don't have than. But it tells you two. So, you know, look for the two. If you don't know that, then, you know, look for the then. So you're going to find one of them. Either you're going to find 2, which is a number, or you're going to find then, which you will know. If we had, of the 3 people, he is the strongest. Again, 3. So you know. Look for the number, which is an adjective, and look for the. The will give you the best clue that it's EST. Now, here they're asking you, I'm not doing this, but if you want to practice, you can get a sentence with slower and slowest. So let's say you're talking about a turtle and a snail. Okay, so a snail is slower than a turtle. See? You're comparing 2. Now, let's say we're talking about a snail, a turtle, and a rabbit. Okay? We all know that a snail is the slowest, not the rabbit. Don't go by the rabbit being in the hair. No, the rabbit was not the fastest. He was the laziest. That's why he lost the race in the story. So, of the 3, the snail is the slowest of all of the 3. Okay, so another thing that I wanted to just quickly hit upon. Adjectives, because this is going to go into tomorrow's lesson. That's why I'm talking about it. Adjectives are basically opinions. I cannot stress this enough. Okay? They're not always facts. Like 2 people, yes, that could be a fact. But biggest, shortest, smallest, skinniest, ugliest, whatever you want to use, those are generally opinions, not facts. You know, numbers and colors, yes, they're generally facts. Although some people can view something as blue and someone may view something as purple. You know, because, you know, the difference in color variations. Okay. That's it for today's lesson. Tomorrow I will be having a special lesson on facts and opinions, and I will be tying that into the election, which is tomorrow. So we're going to be doing that. I thank you. Remember, hit that like button, okay? Hit that bell notification, and please subscribe. And I thank everyone for their comments. You know, they help me to improve my channel or to give me some ideas about new lessons. Thank you, and stay safe.